My screen is visible, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Student, yes. Student, we discussed about code conversion in our previous lecture. To understand how to convert code or to understand how can we take data directly from the lookup table, where it started with the square of a given number using lookup table. We discussed key initially you are loading your data and you are loading your result into the table itself inside the memory, and you will simply take it, you will retrieve it, and you are in a position to take your equivalent result, right? After that, we discuss how to convert BCD into seven segment. We had discussed this code again through a concept of lookup table equivalent to the digits that we want to display. We had made a equivalent hexadecimal code for that, and that values we are storing. Simply, we are taking the digits, we will retrieve it, and we can convert any given number, any given digit into its equivalent seven segment display, right? So this concept, if you remember, we discussed कि जहाँ पे हम लोग ने we had checked कि हम initialization of lookup table करेंगे, we will take the number from source memory pointer, we took the one destination memory pointer, we'll take the data from source, we will retrieve the data from the we will retrieve the data from the lookup table, and that will store onto the destination memory pointer, right? So this we had already discussed. Now after that, binary to ASCII code conversion, the concept we had already discussed. Ki suppose if you have binary to ASCII, or you can say alphanumeric word, how can we convert into a to make it into ASCII? Students, am I audible to you?
मैम बीच में आवाज कट गई थी.
You lost my voice? Okay, now it's coming correctly? Okay. Now student, just tell me कि हम लोग ने, if you remember, we discussed how to convert alphanumeric code into ASCII. We discussed कि if your number is in between 0 to 9, how many should be added into this? कितने ऐड करने पड़ेंगे उसमें to convert it into ASCII? If my number is 0, then how many, what will be the equivalent ASCII for that? My voice is coming, students? Nishal, Devang, can you hear me, students?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how many should be added? What will be the ASCII equivalent of 0? अगर मैं यहाँ पे अपने कीबोर्ड में से 0 if I'll press, then what will be the equivalent ASCII code generated? Yes, Uday, Sakshi, Anand.
Yes, ma'am.
What will be the equivalent ASCII for 0?
48.
48, ma'am.
No, 0 equivalent ASCII is, Uday? Students, 0 to 9 is represented by 30 to 39, right? 0 equivalent ASCII is 30. 1 equivalent ASCII is 31, 32, 33, like 39. 9 equivalent ASCII is 39. Yes or no? But if you have alphabets like A to F, that will be converted into its equivalent ASCII by adding 39 into it. Am I communicating, student? Yes or no? That we discussed in our last lecture कि कैसे आप लोग डिसाइड करोगे कि whether your number is in between 0 to 9 or A to F. If it is in between A to 0 to 9, you need to add 30. If it is in between A to F, you need to add 37. Yes or no, Uday? We had discussed this part. Yes or no? If you remember,
Forgot,
we
ma'am.
discussed. You forgot it? Okay, Devang, Sakshi, what do you think we discussed? You remember that? Naseeb, right? Okay, let me repeat it one more time. How to convert our number into equivalent ASCII. Right? ASCII is nothing but the American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Student just try to understand. हम लोग जो भी use कर रहे हैं keyboard, the keyboard for input we are using, and that will always convert our numbers and alphabets into its equivalent ASCII. Am I communicating, Uday? Right? हम लोग जो भी नंबर आप you are pressing from your keyboard, the input is given to your CPU is always in terms of ASCII code. That's why we are trying to understand how this code conversion from numbers alphanumeric word to ASCII code conversion can take place. Right? Student, are you getting my voice properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now just try to understand कि if I'll observe my keyboard, तो उसमें मैं दो तरह से input I'm giving. Either I'll give numbers or I'll give alphanumeric alphabets, right? तो उसको code को क्या generally बोलते हैं? Alphanumeric code. As a code you are giving alphabets, as a code you are giving your numbers as well, right? तो हम लोग को whenever we are dealing with hexadecimal number system ना, that is alphanumeric code because hexadecimal में 0 to 9 symbol भी है और A to F alphabets भी है. Are you getting me, student? Ayushi, right? So we have numbers 0 to 9 as well as alphabets A to F also. So how to convert this into ASCII? That should be clear first, then we will write the equivalent code. Now if I say I'm having a number 0 to 9 नंबर है तो उसका ASCII होता है नंबर प्लस 30. If my number is 0, the equivalent ASCII is 30. If my number is 5, the equivalent ASCII is 35. If my number is 7, the equivalent ASCII code is 37. Am I communicating, Sahil? But suppose
Yes, ma'am.
if I'm having alphabets A to F, the conversion will be little bit different. Instead of 30, I need to add how many? 37. So very first thing that I need to do is whenever I'm dealing with alphanumeric code, I need to identify is it number or alphabet. If it is number, I need to add 30. If it is alphabet, I need to add 37. You all can see here कि A equivalent ASCII is 41. So 37 plus A will give you a equivalent number is 41, right? So how to convert it? Just try to understand. You will take a number. You will check whether your number, whether the given input is number or alphabet. So you will compare it with A. It is greater than or equal to A or less than A. If it is less than A, matlab 0 to 9 number hai, right? Then you need to add 30. But if it is alphabet, that is in between A to F, you need to add 37, right? So accordingly, you need to write your program, right? Here, to make you understand how to write a subroutine, if you remember, we had discussed it through subroutine. कि हम लोग ने सबसे पहले स्टैक पॉइंटर को इनिशियलाइज कर लिया. वी हैड इनिशियलाइज अवर स्टैक पॉइंटर. वी आर टेकिंग LXI-H. हम लोग ने क्या किया है? सोर्स मेमोरी पॉइंटर लिया है. LXI-D इज अवर डेस्टिनेशन मेमोरी पॉइंटर. तो यहाँ से वी विल कंसिडर द नंबर और यहाँ पे वी विल स्टोर द रिजल्ट. फॉर द कन्वर्शन, कैन यू हियर मी प्रॉपरली, स्टूडेंट? My
Yes,
screen
ma'am.
is okay. My screen is also visible, right? So here for the conversion, okay. Here for the conversion, we are taking 5 numbers. You can take any number, right? So counter that we are selecting or we are taking, that is 5. Now memory location which is specified by HL pair, that content we are moving into accumulator. मतलब source memory location पे जो data है that we are transferring into accumulator. For what reason? For the conversion, right? यहाँ पे suppose 9 store है, that 9 should be converted into 39. Am I communicating, student? क्योंकि मैं number को ASCII में convert कर रही हूँ. Now I write call ASCII, which is nothing but the subroutines calling. यहाँ पे मैंने ASCII subroutine लिखा है, वहां से मैं CPI 0A कर रही हूँ. Very first instruction is I am comparing my given input with 0A. If it is 0 to A, that means the content that is given by me is number, not alphabet, right? So if my number is less than 0A, then carry flag will obviously not set, right? Then I'll add 30 and will jump to the return. But if the given number is less than this, greater than this condition will not fulfill, then it will go to ADI 37. It will add 37 into it and return to the main program where I'm transferring the content of accumulator to DE pair, which is a destination memory pointer. Again, I'll move to the next number, right? I'll decrement my counter. I'll check whether counter will become 0, 0 or not. If not 0, then again go and convert. If it is 0, then go to hold, right? So this is the way to write a subroutine. ये program दो purpose solve कर रहा है. One thing that you will identify is how to write a subroutine. The second thing that you will identify here, how to compare your number, and you will check whether inside the given input you are identifying your number, that is 0 to 9, or you are identifying the input is alphabet A to F, right? How to convert this both into the ASCII? The adding is different. If you are having number, it should be 30 should be added. If it is alphabet, 37 should be added. I hope I am communicating, student. Any doubt in this code? Uday, now any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Anyone?
Ma'am,
Yes, please.
I have shown in Google that zeros ASCII value is 48.
Yes, just tell me.
I have tried to show in Google that what is the ASCII value of 0, then it's showing me that 48.
Now convert it into hexadecimal.
Okay.
Yes, Sakshi.
30. Okay. Got it.
Got it, right? You are taking the number in decimal, and here the number system that we are following for writing 8085 program is hexadecimal, right? Assembly language we are using. That's why we need to convert this decimal number into its equivalent hexadecimal, right, Sakshi? Very good. Everyone should, cross check like this. Very good. Okay. Any doubt now, Sakshi?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, now we'll move ahead with the next conversion. I hope this discussion, this code conversion is clear to everyone, right? Now, student, it's very, you can say basic and always required code conversion, which is decimal to hex conversion. But before that, just try to understand one more thing here. अगर आपके पास ये opposite, I am not discussing why, because generally the numbers that we are giving as an input and that should be converted into ASCII. Generally opposite આપણે ક્યારે ન કરતા હોય કે ASCII માંથી binary માં યા તો decimal માં convert કરતા હોય, right? That's why just for your understanding how ASCII number can be converted into the decimal number. ASCII number ને decimal માં કેવી રીતે convert કરાય? For that, this is the code. Now, student, just tell me, if I say decimal number system, तो एमा कितना symbol होय? How many symbols in decimal number system?
10.
0 to 9.
0 to 9, 10 symbols, right? नाम परથી idea है, decimal मतलब 10, right? You have 0 to 9 symbol. So there is no provision for A to F if you are dealing with the decimal number system, right? Decimal number system તમે લેતા હોય તો A to F નો કોઈ provision ન હોય. So always we need to take care of this remaining 30, right? જેવી રીતે આપણે ASCII માંથી convert કરતા હતા. So we know કે the number system that we are using is alphanumeric. એમાં alphabets બી હતા અને એમાં numerical number system numbers બી હતા, right? So that we keep it here addition of 30 and 37. But whenever you are converting your ASCII number into decimal number, things should be clear that decimal માં ખાલી 0 to 9 number જ હશે, right? We have only 10 symbols which is 0 to 9. So what is the difference between decimal and ASCII? બંને નંબર સિસ્ટમ વચ્ચે કેટલાનો ડિફરન્સ રહે ખાલી? અગર ખાલી નંબર્સ જ હોય, આલ્ફાબેટ્સ ના હોય, then what is the difference? If I'll say the 30 equivalent decimal is 0, 35 equivalent decimal is 5, so what is the difference? Are you getting me, students? શું પૂછું છું, સમજાય છે?
Oh, difference of 30.
Always there is a difference of 30. Previous case માં તો whenever you are dealing with alpha numeric code, તો difference was different, right? એક case માં alphabets હશે તો difference of 37, but if it is number then difference of 30. That's why we need to go separately. But અગર તમારી પાસે decimal number system માં conversion છે, if you want to convert your ASCII number into decimal, so always the difference will remain same, and that is 30 only, right? So whatever number you are taking, ASCII number you are taking, you only need to subtract 30 out of this, right? For example, 30 is my number and I'll subtract 30, 0 is my decimal number, right? If I'll get an input is 31, I'll subtract 30 out of this, 1 will be the remaining number, and that is nothing but the equivalent decimal number of my ASCII. Am I communicating, student? Right? So this is a simple code which will do opposite conversion like previously we had discussed. Instead of converting your alphanumeric code into ASCII, here the conversion is from ASCII to decimal. Any doubt here in this code, student? Right? અહીંયા આપણે ખાલી કોને કન્વર્ટ કરીએ છીએ ASCII to numbers, only decimal number, right? So 0 to 9 symbols only we are converting. Okay, any doubt? Just look at the code and let me know in case of any doubt. Is it clear, student? From this location, you are taking the number, you will subtract 30 from this, you will compare it. ના લખો તો બી ચાલે, because ultimately you are focusing on decimal numbers. So obviously the input that you need to give, ના લખો, at that time you need to make sure that you will give your input in terms of numbers only. And if it is લખો છો એનો મતલબ છે કે અગર 09 સિવાયનો કોઈ બી input આવશે, then it will load FF. Agar if you will give an input in between 0 to 9, it will give you a result in terms of 0 to 9. Right? Any doubt, student? Anyone? Just look at the code and let me know in case of any discussion, any doubt. Sakshi, is it clear? Ayushi?
Yes, ma'am.
Mukund? Nasib?
Yes, ma'am.
Uday? Janish? Sahil?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, last part of this particular chapter that we want to discuss now is this, as I discussed, this is a common and very useful conversion, which is decimal to hex conversion. Now, student, just try to understand that whenever we are having a decimal number and whenever we are having a hex number, for example, suppose if I'm having a decimal 25, what is the equivalent hex? 19. Can you see here? Decimal 25, equivalent hexadecimal is 19. How to convert your decimal number into hexadecimal number? That should be clear. Decimal number ને આપણે hexadecimal માં convert કરતા હોય, so there is no direct way to convert it, right? But આપણે બે number system ને કોઈ common number system માં convert કરીએ, for example decimal to binary and then binary to hex. Right? That way we are always proceeding whenever we are dealing with decimal conversion, decimal to hex conversion. Right? But suppose if you want to understand it, how to convert it or how to check for its result, just try to understand this procedure. Whenever you are taking any decimal number, right now we are dealing with conversion that is from decimal to hex. Suppose if I'll say I'm having any decimal number, let's say for example 25. I'm having a decimal number 25 and as I discussed 25 equivalent hexadecimal is 19. How I'll find that 19? Just try to understand. Student, out of this 25, very first thing is you need to separate your two nibbles. Out of your number, decimal number, you need to separate your nibbles. Right? How to separate nibble? અગર આ 25 માંથી મારે 20 અને 05 સેપરેટ કરવા હોય, how can I do this? If I have, yes, very good Mukul. We need to go for the masking operation. We have to, suppose if I want to separate lower nibble, I need to go for 0 ending with 0f. If I want to mask my higher nibble, if I want to separate my higher nibble, I need to perform a masking operation with H0. Right? So, student, BCD1 and BCD2 you need to separate. Technical language માં એને એવું કહેવાય કે you need to separate your BCD1 and BCD2. Now, what we mean by BCD1 and BCD2? Student, 25 is your packed BCD number. So out of your packed BCD number, you need to separate two numbers 20 and 5. Right? Ideally, તમને BCD કયો એટલે binary coded decimal for every number you need to represent it with 4 bits. So 25 માંથી you need to separate 2 and you need to separate 5. Again, I am repeating, student. You need to separate 2 and you need to separate 5. 5 is your BCD2 and 2 is your BCD1. Am I communicating, student? Now, suppose if I'll say, I'm separating two nibbles, 25 માંથી 2 અને 5 ને separate કરવા છે. Directly you cannot do this. એટલે તમે પહેલા શું કરો? 20 separate કરો, 05 separate કરો. 20 ને 4 times rotate કરો. So that can be considered as 02. Nibble can be exchanged by rotating it 4 times. Yes or no? Right? Again, we are discussing the same thing. We are taking the number. We are performing an ending operation with 0f and through that we can separate our lower nibble. 25 માંથી 5 ને separate કરી લીધા. We had separated the number BCD1, that is our 5 number. We want to separate 2 as well, but directly we cannot separate 2. So, પહેલા 20 separate કરી લ્યો by performing an ending operation with F0. You will separate 20 and 20 ne 4 times rotate karo. You will rotate it 4 times, matlab you can exchange your nibble and that is nothing but 02. Am I communicating, student? Right? How to separate 2 and 5 from the number 25. Is it clear to everyone? Now, whatever your higher order nibble, whatever, am I audible properly, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Whatever your higher nibble, that is nothing but your counter for adding 0a. Again, I am repeating, to convert your decimal number into hexadecimal number, you need to add 10, 10, 10. How many times? Up to your higher nibble times. So here, our higher nibble is 02. So 0a, we need to add how many times? We need to add 2 times. So here you can say that initially we are taking 0a into register D and we are adding it with accumulator. So 0a plus 0, initially accumulator's content is 0 and register D is loaded with 0a. So 0a plus 0, your answer is 0a. You are decrementing your register B by 1. So 2 will become 1. It is not 0. Again, it will go and add. 0a will be added with 0a. So what is the result? If I'll add 0a and 0a, 0a and 0a, if I'll add What is my result? 14. Yes or no? My result will be 14. Now this 14, which is the counter times 0a's addition, into that I need to add my lower nibble, which was 0.5. Yes or no? And that is nothing but the equivalent hexadecimal of my given decimal number. Am I communicating, student? Right? How to convert your decimal number into hexadecimal number? Is it clear to you? Right? क्या करना पड़ेगा आपको? Whatever the number is given to you, you need to separate your nibbles. Suppose 55, both the numbers are same. That's why we are not. 29 is your number, for example. 29 is your number. All right, decimal number 29 we want to take. So, for example, 29 is your decimal number. What you need to do is you need to separate 02 and 09. Okay. What is your counter out of 02 and 09? What is your counter out of 02 and 09? Yes? Hello? What is your counter in case of 29? आप इसमें से 29 में से 2 को सेपरेट करो, 9 को सेपरेट करो. व्हाट इज योर काउंटर? आपको 0a कितने टाइम्स ऐड करने पड़ेंगे? 9 टाइम्स और 2 टाइम्स? उदय, how many times you are adding in terms of 02? आपका जो हायर निबल है that will be your counter. Am I communicating, student? Whatever your higher nibble is, that is your counter, right? So यहाँ पे 2 is my higher nibble, so I need to add 0a count times. Count is 02, and after addition, whatever result I'll get, I'll add my lower nibble into that, and that is nothing but my equivalent hexadecimal. Am I communicating, student? Yes or no? Sakshi, Ayushi, Uday, Umang,
Yes, ma'am.
Sanskar, Shan. Should I repeat any point, student? Eva, Anurag, Anand, is it clear? Okay, one more time. Try to understand. Suppose if I'm taking the number that is 29. Okay? Suppose if I'm taking the number which is 29. What I'll do is I'll separate out of 29, I'll separate 2 and 9. Right? अब 29 को अगर मैं 0 से if I'm performing an ending operation, it will separate which number? 9? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now here I'm preserving the same number into the register B as well, because again I need to take it to separate my higher nibble. Now 9 is separated. Like same way I need to separate 2. But 2 डायरेक्ट तो सेपरेट नहीं कर पाओगे आप, तो पहले उसको 20 में कन्वर्ट करना पड़ेगा. सो यू विल सेपरेट 20, राइट? आपने जो 29 नंबर लिया था बी रजिस्टर में, दैट यू आर ट्रांसफरिंग टू अक्यूमुलेटर, and you are able to separate 20 out of this. Now 20 को अगर मैं 4 times rotate करूंगी, then it will become 2. Yes or no? 20 मतलब 0 0 1 0 0 0 0 0. If I'll rotate it 4 times, what will happen? My nibble will be exchanged, so it will become 0 2. Are you getting, students? Mishal?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so 0 2 is separated, and this is nothing but my higher nibble. That many times I need to add 0a. So here 0a initially I'm taking in any register, and that I will add how many times? I'll add count time. What is my count?
2 times.
Yes, the higher nibble is my count, and here my higher nibble is 2. So I'll add it 2 times. So 0a, which is nothing but the 14 in decimal. As you can observe here, 0a, We are taking the number system 0a plus 0a, which is nothing but the 14. Can you see here, student? 14. और उसमें मुझे कौन सा नंबर ऐड करना है? वॉट एवर द लोअर निबल ऐड सेपरेटेड. तो यहाँ पे लोअर निबल क्या है 29 केस में? My lower nibble is
9.
9, right? So now if I'll add 9 into this, you can see here कि जो भी यहाँ पे एडिशन का रिजल्ट होगा उसमें हम लोग C को ऐड and hexadecimal. What? Hello? Equivalent hexadecimal is 1D, right? So that way you can convert your any decimal number into hexadecimal number. Okay, can anyone tell me the procedure about 35? How decimal 35 will be converted into hexadecimal? Yes, 35 को मुझे hexadecimal में convert करना है. How to do this? Sakshi, can you try? Yes, Uday, you want to try? Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, we have to separate the nibbles. So in 35, we will separate the 0, 5 and 30.
Very
Then
good.
we will rotate 4 times on 30, so it will be 0, 3. So
Correct.
now we have to add 0a 3 times,
Very good.
and then we will add the lower nibble with the answer of the addition previously.
Very good. Alright, so the procedure should be clear, student. पहले यहाँ पे ये समझ लो कि अगर मैं 35 ले रही हूँ एज अ डेसिमल नंबर तो उसका आंसर क्या आना चाहिए? हेक्साडेसिमल में 23 आना चाहिए, उदय. राइट ना, उदय ने हम लोग को क्या बोला कि इफ आई हैव अ 35, my decimal number is 35, then its equivalent hexadecimal will be 23. Now by procedures, just try to follow by procedure that how this 35 can be converted into 23. Just try to understand कि हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं. 35 में से we will separate 3 and 5, right? We will add 0a how many times? 3 times, right? So 0a we will add 0a plus 0a plus 0a. We will add it 3 times. What is my answer? 1e. Inside that 1e, I need to add how much? कितना ऐड करना पड़ेगा? 35 में से 5 is my lower nibble, so I'll add 5. And you can see that 23 is my result. Yes or no, student? Are you able to understand how to convert your decimal number into hexadecimal? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. To that it's clear. Anand, what do you think? Is it clear? Anand? Ayushi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Devang, can you tell me for 59? Devang? Can you tell us how 59 can be converted into hexadecimal? Devang, can you hear me? Okay. Mishal, you want to try 59? Make it fast, student. It's very easy. Mishal, 59 को अगर आपको हेक्साडेसिमल में कन्वर्ट करना है तो व्हाट कैन बी द प्रोसीजर? 59 में से 5 और 9 को सेपरेट कर लो, राइट? आउट ऑफ 59 you need to separate 5 and 9. You need to add 0a how many times? 5 times, right? Higher nibble times you need to add your 0a. So higher nibble BCD2 will be your counter. So you will add 0a, 0a, 0a 5 times and you will add 9 into this, and that is nothing but the equivalent hexadecimal. Am I communicating, student? Sahil, is it clear? Fenil? Harsh?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So quite easy to understand ki how the hexadecimal number hexadecimal number can be converted into a equivalent decimal. Opposite also can be possible, but right now we will keep up our conversion up to here, decimal to hexadecimal conversion. Okay, student. So we will have the code conversion for at least 5 to 6 code we discuss in class. Right now things should be clear, student, कि आपको सिर्फ procedure पता होना चाहिए. Then code again you can write accordingly. Right. We discuss. We had discussed in class code conversion for the 7 segment, for the ASCII, for the decimal to hex. Right, ASCII to decimal, decimal to ASCII, both we had checked for. So you again can refer this slide from your Google Classroom. In your Google Classroom, everything is uploaded related to timer counter, related to stake subroutine, and related to code conversion. You can refer this and let me know in case of any doubt. Okay. Students, in our lab session where we discuss about time delay and counters, we discuss two methods to design a count, to design our delay in between two count value, and that is NOP and register method. Yes or no? Right? Two more method, which is register pair and nested loop, still we need to discuss. So we will discuss it by tomorrow first, and then we will move to the concept, very important part of our whole course, that is interfacing section. Right? इंटरफेसिंग अभी तक हम लोग ने जितना भी स्टडी किया रिलेटेड टू माइक्रो प्रोसेसर, all that was what is inside the processor, how to program your processor. But now what we are trying to understand through interfacing is, suppose if I am having a memory, I am having input output device, how I can connect it to the microprocessor, right? So that is basically known as interfacing, and that we want to discuss tomorrow. Any doubt up to here? Anyone? Mukund? Okay. So students, just make sure you will go and check your Google Classroom for the reference material. Tomorrow you have a quiz. All right. The content for the quiz is already uploaded before few days. So you can refer. Make sure all of you will connect tomorrow on time, because the quiz is based upon time. It is time-based quiz. So make sure you will connect on time. Student, this is a part of CSE. This quiz marks is part of CSE. So you all can understand, if you are missing any quiz, you will get 0 out of that, right? So you will not, ultimately average will be considered. So 0 will be considered for that. So make sure you will not miss any of the quiz. Okay. Any last point that you want to discuss? So code conversion already done. स्टेक सब रूटीन ऑलरेडी डन. टाइम डिले एंड काउंटर में टाइम डिले के लिए हम लोग को दो मेथड्स डिस्कस करने हैं. फर्स्ट इन 15 minutes tomorrow, first 15 minutes we'll discuss that, and then we'll move to the equivalent interfacing part for our syllabus, right?